I, Dr. Kalavati Prajapati. Today, my topic of the discussion is culture preservation techniques, storage and maintenance of the culture. So, first, why we require the microbial cultures to preserve? Generally, during the preservations, we want to stop the microbial growth or at least lower the growth rate, because during the preservations the toxic chemicals are accumulated and they lost the viability of the organisms. So during the preservations we stop the accumulation of the chemicals as well as to remain the organisms viable for a longer time durations. So we have to less the number of generations as well as to reduce the mutation frequency. Now major objectives of the preservation is generally to maintain the isolated pure cultures for extended periods in a viable condition, as well as to avoid the contaminations, to restrict the genetic changes, that is mutations. So we want to preserve the cultures for a longer time durations into the microbiological lab, into the fermentation industry, or into the culture collection centers for the study. That is our major objectives for the preservation. Now the necessity of the preservation, why we want to preserve the culture. So that is for a academic use, for a research purpose, for a fermentation industry, as well as for the biotechnological field. Now the major criteria for selecting a method of the preservation, how we can choose the preservation techniques. So there is a two basic criteria on the basis of which we can select the methods. The first one, what time durations, at for what time duration we want to preserve the cultures, and another one is the nature of the culture, which type of the microorganisms we want to preserve. That is, either we want to preserve a bacterial culture, fungal culture, yeast cultures, sporulating cultures, or any other types. The major three aims in maintaining the preserved cultures, that is microorganisms should remain alive, or the cultures keep alive for a longer time duration. The second one, it should not be a contaminated. And the third one, the properties of the microorganism should not be changed. Now, the methods of a culture preservation, there are various methods for the preservation of the cultures that include generally the serial dilution, serial transfer techniques, preservation under a oil, on a soil, on a silica gel, by using a sterile distilled water, by using a glass beads, by using a glycerol, or by freezing methods, lyophilization methods, cryopreservations, or by a drying method. Now we discuss one by one the various methods. The first is serial transfer, or it is also known as a subculturing. This method is the most common method. In the techniques, what we have to do, simply we are transferring the cultures from a one fresh medium to the another fresh sterile medium. In that, either we can use a liquid media or we can use a solid media, but most commonly the solid media should be chosen in the preference to liquid, as there is a higher chance of a contamination into the liquid media. After subculturing, the tubes should be sealed properly with a cotton wool, and then after it is allowed to grow the cultures. After the proper growth of the microorganisms, the culture should be kept in a refrigerator for the preservation. Okay, this subculturing has many disadvantages also. For example, it may change characteristics of the microorganisms due to the continuous transfer or subculturing. There may be a loss of characteristics of the microorganism, or due to the mutations, the strain degeneration may occur. There is a chances of contamination if we can repeatedly subcultures the microorganism. The third one is the loss of the cultures due to the continuous transfer from into the fresh medium. There may be a possibility the organism lost their property, or sometimes the organisms cannot revive also. The second method of the preservation is preservation under oil. This is also known as anaerobic preservation techniques. It is a very simple as well as the cost effective method. In the techniques, the liquid paraffin is used, the culture is grown into the liquid media or into the solid media, and then after it is overlaid with a sterile liquid paraffin, allow the organisms to grow, and then after it is kept into the room temperature. The layer of a paraffin which prevents the dehydrations, as well as it will create an anaerobic condition, so the metabolic activity of the microorganism is lower down. Due to the reduced oxygen tension, the microorganisms cannot carry out its routine metabolic activity, and they slower down the growth rate of the organism. So it is a ideal techniques if you want to preserve the organism into the anaerobic conditions. The another techniques for the anaerobic condition is the preserve the culture by using a mineral oils. Okay, either we can use a paraffin oils or we can also use a mineral oil. In that, the sterile mineral oil is overlaid at half inch of the above surface of the freshly grown slant. Okay, after that, the slants are kept into the room temperatures or in a refrigerated conditions. In this techniques, approximately we can preserve the microbial culture for 15 to 20 years. Okay, the disadvantages of this method is the loss of the sporulations as well as the loss of the biochemical activity, because basically this techniques slower down the metabolic activity of the microorganism. So sometimes we lost the biochemical activity of the microorganism also. The third techniques of the preservation is preservation on a soil. Generally, the sporulating organism, mostly the fungi and actinomycetes, can be preserved easily and successfully by using these techniques. In their techniques, the dry soils or sterile soil and sand is used. In that techniques, what we have to do, generally use a glass bottles, that is approximately 60 to 100 ml glass bottle. Fill up that glass bottle with a sterile soil or sand and add a 20% of the distilled water, that is a water content. After that, sterilize that bottles, that is a 2 time sterilizations. Okay, again the first time sterilizations, if there is some sporulating organism present into the soil or sand, by the second sterilization that spore formers or the spores are completely destroyed. Then after, the freshly prepared suspension of the microbial culture, that is approximately 5 ml of the spore suspension or the mycelial suspension, is added into the soils which is autoclaved into the glass bottles, and then after allow the microorganisms to grow, that is the spores to grow, that is approximately 2 to 14 days. After 2 to 14 days, the growth or the mycelia is observed into the soils, and then after it is preserved into the refrigerated conditions. Whenever we want to retry the cultures or the fungal culture, simply take some part of the soils and sprinkle on a fresh nutrient agar medium, and we can easily revive the fungal cultures on a fresh medium. The various fungi, that is most of the fungi which are the spore formers, for example fusarium, penicillium, alternaria, rhizopus, aspergillus, they can be easily stored or preserved by using these methods. Now the fourth technique is a preservation on a silica gels. Again, in that there is a two different method. The first one is the silica gel methods by using a sporulatic fungus or spore forming organism. So that technique is given by the Perkins in 1962 for a specifically Neurospora species. In that, what we have to do, simply the pieces of the silica, that is approximately 6 to 22 millimeter pieces of the silica, without adding an indicator dye, is sterilized into one bottle, screw cap tubes or screw cap bottles. After that, the 10% volume per volume solutions of the four suspension is prepared, and that is added into the dry powder or skim milk in a distilled water which is previously cooled at 4 degree. Then after, it is added into the silica gels and allow it to mix. So that silica gel layer overlay with a spore suspensions or the microbial suspensions. After that, it is left for a 30 minutes into the water bath. Whenever we want, it should be stored at a room temperature for 1 to 2 weeks, and viability is checked. If you want to check the viability of the organism on a silica gel, simply take a piece or few crystals of the silica and sprinkle on a fresh medium. If they are growing on a fresh medium, that means the organisms are viable into the pieces of the silica, and then after that powders form or the crystals of the silica is preserved into the refrigerator. The another methods of the silica is specially used for the yeast and the bacterial cultures. That is simply it is the microbial culture is stored into the silica gel powders, that is in a lower temperature for a period of 1 to 2 years. In that methods, the finely powder of the silica gel, which is previously sterilized cool powder, is mixed with a thick suspension of the microbial cells and stored in a refrigerating condition or in a lower temperature. Whenever we want to revive that, okay, the powder, simply the powder is sprinkled on a petri plate or the fresh medium and allow it to grow. The basic advantage of this method is it prevents all the fungal growths and the metabolisms of the microorganism. The fifth method is preservation in the sterile distilled water. It is the most ideal techniques which is used for the preservation of a fungal cultures, which is the spore formers. Basically, all the spore forming microorganisms can be easily preserved by using this technique. Take a pasture pipette or by using a cup borer. When the microorganism or the fungal culture is in a sporulated form on a plate, you can take a piece or a disc, form a disc or a piece by using a pasture pipette or by using a cup borer from the colony edge. Then after that disc is they simply transferred into the sterile cotton plugged screw cap test tubes which contain a sterile distilled water. Initially loosely kept or wrapped with a paraffin, allow it to store into the 4-degree temperatures, and whenever we want to retry the cultures, take a disc or by using a wire loop, we can easily transfer the spores from distilled water to the fresh medium. Now the another method is a preservation on a beads. In that, the porcelain beads or the glass beads are used for the preservation. The screw cap vials which containing a glass beads or the porcelain beads are sterilized. After the sterilization, the cell suspension is prepared, the thick cell suspension is prepared, and that culture is transferred with a 20% sucrose solutions, and with that sucrose containing suspension is transferred into the sterile beads, allow it to dry, and after drying, generally the drying is carried out by the vacuum desiccators. After the drying, that beads are stored at a refrigerated conditions, and whenever we want the retrieving the cultures, that one single bead is transferred into the fresh liquid medium. So then the seventh method is the preservations by using a glycerols. Generally, the bacteria can be frozen using a 15% of the glycerols. The glycerol, which is diluted up to 30%, and equal amount of the glycerol and the culture is mixed. Broth are mixed, dispensed into a tubes and then frozen at a 10 degrees centigrade. The viability of the organisms is vary into the glycerol stocks. That is, for example, E. coli and Diplococcus is viable for 5 months, while the Haemophilus influenza is viable for 4 months. Neisseria meningitis is viable for 6 months, 6 weeks, and the Neisseria gonorrhoeae is for 3 weeks. So the different organisms having a viability in a different time durations for in a glycerol stocks. Now the eighth method is a preservation by a freezing. The freezing is the most common procedures which is highly applicable in all the industry, that is a fermentation industry as well as the in a research level also. That is, the bacterial suspensions is preserved by using a lower temperature, that is a minus 30-degree temperature, and again in that the cryoprotecting agent is used for the preservation of the cultures. Whenever we are preserving the culture by using a freezing, the cryoprotective agents like a glycerol or dimethyl sulfoxide, that is known as a DMSO, is the common cryoprotecting agents which is used for the freezing techniques. In that freezing, the water is completely removed, the culture is preserved under cryoprotecting agent, that is either in a glycerol or in a DMSO. The culture is preserved by adding a 15% glycerol solutions or glycerol, and then it is stored at a minus 20 to minus 80 degrees centigrade in a freezers, or either cultures can be preserved at a minus 40 degrees centigrade in a freezer also. That is generally the 2 ml glycerol. Either we can use the simple pen drop tubes prepared at glycerol, that is a concentrated glycerol stock solutions, and then after that by using a solid mediums, that is the microbial growth which are already observed into the solid medium, that is simply by using a fire loop we can transfer the microbial growth or the colony from solid medium to the glycerol stock solutions, suspend it properly and mix it thoroughly, and after that we can preserve that ampules at a refrigerating condition, that is approximately minus 70 degree centigrades. The ampules are then removed and placed directly into the deep freezer, that is minus 40 degree centigrade, that is known as a stock cultures. Okay, so that is the easy methods for the preservations. And in the freezing, the ultra cold temperature is also used, that is minus 60 to minus 80 degrees centigrade. In that techniques, generally the two types of the methods are used, either by using a mechanical freezer or by using a liquid nitrogen freezer. The mechanical freezer having a temperature approximately minus 60 to minus 80 degrees centigrade, while the liquid nitrogen tank, which is already shown into the figure, and the last figure that shows the liquid nitrogen gases. Okay, whenever it is a liquid nitrogen, we can easily preserve the cultures at a temperature of minus 156 to minus 196 degree centigrades. Now the another methods of the preservation is by using a freeze drying, or it is also known as a lyophilization techniques. So now lyophilization means freeze drying, which is a multi-stage process. Okay, it includes a freezing, then after the removal of waters by removing the ice crystals, and then lastly it is a completely drying of the microorganism. Okay, simply it begins with the growing the cells at a maximum stationary phase. After that, resuspend the cells into the protective medium like a skim milk, serum, or by using a sodium glutamate. Then after the few drops of the culture is transferred into the ampules. After that, the freezing of the cultures to stop the metabolic activity. After the freezing, again the another one is a removal of a water by using a sublimation. In that, we are completely removing the water contents, so the whole microbial cells now converted into the solids to the gaseous state without becoming a liquid and ends with a dried product. Now sublimation largely avoids the problem of a denaturation of the protein. Okay, this diagram shows the stages of the lyophilization. The first one is the freezing, which is known as the solidifications. Then after the primary drying, in the primary drying, the ice sublimation that will remove the 5 to 10% of the water. After that, the secondary drying, which is known as a desorption. In that, we remove the 1 to 2% of the remaining water. The 95 to 99% water is removed into the first stage of the lyophilization, that is known as a freezing. Now the dried product is sealed either under a vacuum or under an inert gas whenever we want to preserve the culture. The cells may remain viable for 10 years by using these techniques. The major advantage is the less chances of the contamination, as well as the vials are easily stored. They are not broken, and many species are viable for many years. Mostly the culture collection center use this lyophilization techniques. And another method is by using a liquid nitrogen or the cryopreservation. The same method as like a previous, that by using a freezing, that is a liquid nitrogen. Again, the cryopreservation having a three various stages, that is the freezing, thawing, and reculture method. The freezing is the methods in which we have to freeze the culture. That means the removal of most of the bacterial, most of the water content from the microbial cultures. Then after the thawing methods, in that the remaining water content is removed through the ice crystals and it is converted into the powder form. And last one is the recultures, that is if we want to recultures or if we want to regrow, again we have to check the viability of the microorganism. The cryopreservation is carried out by using a two steps, either by using a two different various types of the cryoprotecting agents. That is, first is the penetrating agents, another one is a non-penetrating agents. The penetrating agents preserve the cultures by penetrating inside the cells, so it protects the microbial cultures intracellularly as well as the extracellular. The examples of the penetrating agents is glycerol, dimethyl sulfoxides, and the other compounds also. The another non-protecting agent is that non-protecting agents basically includes the sugars, that is sucrose, lactose, glucose, mannitol, sorbitol, dextran, okay, polyvinyl pyrrolidone, as well as the hydroxyethyl starch. These non-protecting agents protect the cells outer or externally from the microorganism. That is, it protects the cells from the cell membrane. The glycerol and DMSO have proved to be a most effective methods, and it is highly used for the fungi, while the polyethylene glycol is the another penetrating agents which can be also used. In that, the cell suspension is stored whenever we are preparing the culture of the culture suspension into this, either into